welcome back to Real World Magic, where we make your life more magical. My name's Neil Trigger, I'm going to be your magical host, and in today's video I'm talking about how to change reality while you're asleep. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then hang around until the end, click the like button if you liked it, subscribe for more of this sort of stuff, click the bell button to be notified of future uploads, and let's get cracking with the video. In 2005, I wrote an article called Change Your Reality with Lucid Dreaming. Lucid dreaming is a technique where you can dream something whilst remaining fully aware that you're asleep. And I know that sounds odd. Being aware that you're asleep allows you to recognise that your surroundings are created by your mind. So you can change reality just by thinking about it. If you want to know how you can use lucid dreaming to change your reality, not just while you're asleep, keep watching. So in this video we're talking about lucid dreaming and how you can use lucid dreaming to change your reality. And here's the really magical thing. Your reality won't only change for the duration of your dream, but you can actually use lucid dreams to alter the fabric of reality for when you wake up too. Keep watching to find out more. The term lucid dreaming was first coined by Dutch author and psychiatrist Frederik van Eeden in his 1913 article A Study of Dreams. But he wasn't the first person to talk about being aware that they were dreaming. Oh no, 1913 is a very young child compared to some of the references I found. Lucid dreaming is an advanced technique that was talked about as far back as the ancient Greeks, Egyptians and Sumerians, and may have even gone further back than that. In fact, Greek philosophers and medics like the great orator Aristotle prescribed lucid dreaming as an antidote for psychosis and even to sleeplessness, which sounds a bit weird to me. So what's with the latest trending topic about slipping realities and lucid dreaming all about? Why has it taken off so much? Well, let's start by talking about what lucid dreaming can do. Imagine you can go to sleep and you might just have a dream. It might be a fairly normal dream, and let's say that you're riding a bike. In normal dreams, you'll follow the narrative of the dream until its conclusion. Normally, the dreams you remember are scary or nice. It's because there's some pretty intense emotional reaction to your dream. Obviously, we call the scary dreams nightmares, and the nice or sexy dreams, you know the ones I mean, they have names too. But the common thing with all of these dreams is that you are a passenger. You're not driving the dream. Someone else is at the wheel. You're just sat there, watching it happen to you. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's scary, but most of the time it's just pretty standard and, dare I say, boring. You might well need to take my word for the last one, because although boring dreams happen more often than the other two combined, you probably don't remember them, and that's pretty normal too. Let's get into the science to explain why that's true in a moment, but for now just trust me that I do know what I'm talking about. So if we forget our dream more often than not, what can we do about it? We remember the dreams with a strong emotional link. This is called anchoring, or in the world of science and psychology it's called a somatic marker. A somatic marker is like a brain flag that your mind stabs into a memory. It links things together. For example, for me, coconut sun cream smells like my holiday to Florida when I was 7 years old. Certain songs make me happy or sad or wistful or regretful, depending on what I was doing when I last listened to them. Often you can hear a song 100 times and like it. Then it's playing when something terrible happens and suddenly you hate the song. The song hasn't changed, but you have. You created a somatic marker, an anchor back to a time when you were hurt, shocked or sad or whatever. Note too that somatic markers don't discriminate between good and bad emotions or memories, only strong and weak ones. Let's say that you were eating a chocolate bar after a breakup with your partner. You might associate that particular brand of chocolate with that breakup. However, years later, after that marker was well established, someone much nicer than the old partner, who you since realise was a bit of a prat, asks you out and you fall madly in love with them. They then buy you the same brand of chocolate and tie an engagement ring to it. That new emotional connection will rip apart the old somatic marker like a bag of rabid ferrets on a Morris dancer's testicles. That's a weird image. It'll replace the old, fairly strong somatic marker with another much stronger one and anchor back to a strong emotion that you felt last time you saw that chocolate, and that will last until it's overwritten again. Why am I talking about somatic markers or anchors at all? Well, because it's very relevant to lucid dreaming. You see, you're going to want to know how to change your reality with lucid dreaming, and that's why you're here, isn't it? You want to know how you can do this lucid dreaming stuff yourself, right? Well, it's actually pretty easy, but first you need to change your actions while you're awake. Firstly, if you forget most of your dreams, and you probably do, like I do, how do you know that you're not already lucid dreaming? I'll tell you now, you're probably not, because being lucid in a dream is normally emotional enough that you can remember that dream that you were in because of the control that you had over it. So let's talk a little about dream logic. In a dream, certain rules can be bent and others can be broken. That sounds a bit like the Matrix, doesn't it? Didn't Morpheus say something like that? So in a dream, you may be in your house and you open a door that usually opens out onto the street, but you step out onto the top of the Eiffel Tower instead. You don't question it because in the dream, you're the passenger. You might think, that's odd, but you aren't in control, and so you just go with it. With lucid dreaming, you'd be able to control that door to open to anywhere. In fact, you'd be able to open a door that wasn't even there. Imagine the power of spending half of your life building universes just by thinking. Imagine the freedom that would come from deciding, let's fly over there. And then the Earth just floats away from you and you start soaring like Superman, or you go invisible or teleport, become a world famous actor, singer, billionaire, playboy, astronaut, or any other of the many things that you could think of. In lucid dreaming, you can do anything, literally anything. You could be God. It doesn't need to adhere to any laws of physics because it's all inside your head. Around 85% of all lucid dreamers admit that they use their lucid dreaming talents and time to have sex with celebrities or crushes that they have in the real world while they're asleep. This affords them the freedom to be as lewd or immoral as they like without anyone ever being able to find out. Let's do a bit of science now, but don't skip this bit because I will still try and keep it interesting. Lucid dreaming is a proven state. Scientists took several people who claimed they could control their dreams and put them in an fMRI scanner. The participants then went to sleep and the scientists scanned their brains using magnetic imaging to confirm that they were asleep. The participants then moved their eyes in a very specific way that they had previously agreed with the scientists. In another experiment, the scientists mapped the brain signals when the participants thought of various things like a car, a dog, or a boat. Again, when asleep, the participants imagined these things, and the scientists were able to detect the same patterns. So lucid dreaming is possible, but how can you do it? Well, there are lots of technological tools that allow lucid dreaming to happen more frequently, like a mask that detects the REM, pronounced rhyme or rapid eye movement phase. And then they start firing lights from LEDs through the eyelids to trigger lucid dreaming. There's a hemisync technology that allows two halves of the brain to synchronize, using sounds to increase the chances of lucid dreaming too. But you can increase the chance of lucid dreaming using some pretty simple techniques that you can do right now to increase your chances of lucid dreaming tonight. Firstly, you need to remember your own dreams in as much detail as you can, so keep a dream diary. This isn't just so you can know that you've already had a lucid dream after the event. It also helps you to identify the signs that you're asleep. The better you recognise your own dreams, the more likely you are to slip into consciousness during your dreams, because you'll recognise that it is a dream. Second, develop habits that will translate into your dreams. For example, one habit that a lot of lucid dreamers use is to look at their watch twice to check the time against itself. In dreams, time doesn't exist. It doesn't have to. Looking at your watch twice will tell you either that you're awake or asleep, or that the watch is broken. Either way, it's a useful piece of knowledge. Third is perhaps harder. You need to accept that you might be asleep right now, watching this video. It's possible. Of course, because I said that, it's unlikely unless I am your unconscious mind right now, giving you a kick to try to make you have a lucid dream. Fourth is to try to do stuff in your dreams. Just do it. You need to gain the will to experiment. Habits can help you to know if you're lucid dreaming or not, and merely by thinking about doing something in a lucid dream will normally allow you to do it. The problem is the brain waves. You see, the brain operates mainly on alpha waves. This is the creative, primal brain that operates most of what we do. And it's the alpha waves that allow us to dream. Beta waves are bossy. That's the easy way to remember them, bossy beta. The beta waves control language and movements, and all of the conscious stuff. The trick is to use your conscious mind while in alpha state, and the hard bit there is that as soon as you slip into the bossy beta waves, you may just wake yourself up, or at least start to. When I met neuroscientist Dr. David Lewis, he told me about his experiments with brainwaves. He developed an experiment where participants wore an EEG, or an electroencephalograph device, on their head to measure brainwaves. These were attached to a model railway. The trains were programmed to only move if the EEG detected alpha waves, and to stop when they detected beta waves. The aim of the game was to be the first one to get your train to the end of the track. It sounds easy enough, doesn't it? However, the harder the participants tried to move the train, the more determined the train would be to stay still. The trick was to forget about the train completely and not care if it moved or not. Not just pretend to not care, but truly not care. Dr. Lewis gave incentives too, money for the winner, just to make people want it even more. Tricky Dr. David Lewis. So the trick is to stay relaxed. Stay in a relaxed alpha state while controlling your dreams. If you can do that, then you can become a lucid dreamer. That's fine and everything, but how do you change reality? Well, here's the thing. Lucid dreaming allows literally anything. You are a god of your own mind. You can do anything you want to. Reality, real reality, isn't quite like that. Real reality requires work, but you can practice things in lucid dreaming that will help your life as a whole. Imagine practicing for an interview while asleep. It's generally accepted that when your brain is asleep, your brain operates much faster, because it doesn't have to deal with all of the daily things that's bombarding your head. Imagine using that extra time to fully prepare for your interview. And it's not just your sleep time. Imagine that that's multiple instances of sleep time. Even if you only prepare for 1 hour while awake, you could spend 8 hours sleeping. You could spend 9 times as long preparing than you otherwise might do if you only did it while awake. Then multiply that by the speed of your brain doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. The extra bonus is that lucid dreaming is far more effective at giving you a restful night's sleep as well than normal sleep. So you can be much more prepared and much more rested than your competition. Guess who's going to get that job? Perhaps you want to read a book, but you just don't have the time while you're awake. All you have to do is glance at the pages briefly while you're awake. No need to look for too long, because your brain will take it in anyway. When you're asleep, take that book off the shelf and activate what you saw in your unconscious mind into your conscious mind by casually reading the book in your own time, in your dream. Your brain took that information in, but unconsciously. It's just not conscious knowledge yet. So imagine the possibilities, because the limits are your own imagination. And that really means that there is no limit at all. There are tons more uses that you can put lucid dreaming to, but hopefully you get the idea by now. So that's it from me for another video. If you did like this episode, you'll probably like some of my others too. So subscribe for more of this kind of thing, click that bell button to be notified of next time I upload, and remember to click that like button as well, because that tells YouTube that it was a good video and more people should see it. Thanks ever so much for watching, and thanks too to my awesome patrons. These amazing people help me out every week, and in particular Chivalrous Tube actually asked me to do this video, so you can blame him if it was crap. Seriously though, they are awesome, and if you want to be one of them, head on over to patreon.com/realworldmagic and sign up from as little as £3. Also, since Christmas is coming up, you may have noticed, who am I kidding, it's 2020, you've probably been looking forward to Christmas since about the end of March. Well, anyway, if you're still looking for Christmas gifts and you think your friends or family would like something magical, like this t-shirt that I'm wearing about the 3 broomsticks, I've got magical potions, posters, t-shirts, mugs, all of that sort of stuff available on my Etsy store. All of the links to all of this stuff are down in the description, including the Patreon stuff. And check it out, and I'll see you again next time with some more magical awesomeness. That's it from me for another week. So until next time, as always,
Stay magical.
Please subscribe to Real World Magic. While you're there, click the bell button to be notified of future uploads, and have a look at all of my social stuff. Remember to donate on Patreon if you really, really liked it, and I'll see you again next week.